Two new LEGO Star Wars August 2024 sets just got revealed, and I wanted to hop on here real quick and give you my initial thoughts on the reveal pictures. And jumping straight into it, first up here we have 75385 Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridea with 382 pieces and a retail price of $55 US. And this was not what I was expecting this set to look like at all. All year the leak has just been titled Battle on Peridea, so I just kind of automatically assumed that the actual build of the set was going to be those little pod things that Ezra rode around in the Ahsoka show, but apparently the build is actually supposed to be those 4 pillars, or I think there was 4 pillars, I don't remember how many there were, that was on top of that big mountain in Ahsoka. And I'm not gonna lie, for $55 this build does look a bit bland, but I'll get to that. First, let's take a look at the minifigures in this set, and the first thing you might notice if you have been keeping up with the leaks all year is that Enoch is not in this set, which is disappointing, but it's not LEGO's fault, it's the leakers' fault for putting out the wrong information, so that is kind of a bummer. But on the bright side, the rest of the figures in this set look really good. Instead of Enoch, we're getting what's called a Night Trooper, and he's really just the typical stormtrooper with some extra details on him to make him look like one of the troopers from the show, and I think for the most part they did a pretty good job at that. He maybe could have used some more red stripes on his legs and his torso, but for the most part this is a pretty cool figure that I'm kind of excited to get because I always love collecting unique figures. And then right next to him we have what is probably going to be the selling point for a lot of people with this set, being Thrawn. This is the first Thrawn minifigure that they have made since 2017, and he looks great. He's got dual molded legs, and they used a very simple but good looking torso print, and his face print of course looks pretty good as well. I have seen some people saying that they don't like how his hair doesn't have a blue tint to it, but honestly I think it looks better in all black anyways. And then at the bottom left we have Ahsoka, and this looks to be a brand new figure. It's not the same one that came in the T6 Jedi shuttle from last year, and I think she looks really good. I love her sort of dark gray and light gray colorway, and the arm printing is always nice, although I'm not really sure if Ahsoka really needs arm printing because it does look kind of awkward how it's just right on top of her orange skin. And then right beside here we have Ezra Bridger. This is the first Ezra Bridger we have gotten in a very long time. I don't remember when the last one came out, probably 2017 or 2016, and I think he looks good for the most part. The only thing I don't really like about him is just those big bright blue kind of lifeless eyes that he has. I mean, he had very noticeably blue eyes in the show, but I think LEGO kind of just overdid it here a little bit. And then lastly we have Morgan Elsbeth, and this looks to be the same one from the E-Wing and Shin Hati set last year, the only difference being her face print and that she actually has legs instead of a skirt piece. And I mean, her face print looks good and her torso print looks good as well, but no leg printing in 2024 is kind of a bummer. But I honestly think that's excusable because the rest of the figures in this set are very good, and I think the figures in this set are going to be a selling point for a lot of people, especially Thrawn and Ahsoka. The build on the other hand, again like I said in the beginning, is pretty bland for $55. It kind of reminds me of that Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan set from 2022, although it does look like there are quite a few different play features, one being where you can sort of push this lever down and make Ezra fly off to recreate the scene where he jumps from the mountain to the Star Destroyer, and this other feature where it looks like there's some knobs on the side where you can sort of spin these plates around and make the figures look like they're fighting, which looks pretty cool. And I think the pillars themselves look pretty cool as well. But essentially, besides the pillars, just at first glance this set is literally just a gray plate, and I just think that's kind of boring for $55. I think the pods that Ezra traveled around in would have worked a lot better for this price point and just the title of this set. And again, that was what I was expecting this set to be, and I'm still honestly kind of surprised that that's not what it is and that they decided to make the 4 pillars. But build aside, I really think the minifigures are going to be a huge selling point for everybody with this set. I don't think anyone's really going to be interested in this build, but I don't want to knock it too much because after all, these are the reveal pictures. I'll have to see what the build is actually like when I get it in person and review it. And then next up we have what I think is probably going to be one of the best sets this year, being 75396 Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit with 558 pieces and a retail price of $80 US, which is honestly just too high. When I said best set this year, I meant just the actual substance in the set. The price point is pretty bad. I mean, 80 is just too far. I think 70 should have been the max. 70 is still even pushing it a little bit. 60 really would have been the ideal price for this, and it seems like every set nowadays is just getting an extra $10 added to them, and I just don't really appreciate it. This set does not need to be more than 70. But price aside, like I said, the actual substance in this set looks incredible. First up here we have the minifigures, and obviously this includes the 25th anniversary Nien Nunb minifigure, which I am very excited to get. He's just a really awesome character, and I think LEGO did a pretty solid job at recreating him here. And then the other notable figure, and perhaps the best figure in this set, is Lando. I think that helmet looks absolutely incredible, and so does his torso and leg print. It all just flows together really nicely, and I'm honestly pretty surprised at how good this Lando figure looks. The other 4 figures I'm pretty sure aren't exclusive, besides Han Solo maybe, with that kind of whack and devious looking face print. And actually the Luke Skywalker minifigure looks looks new too, but the Boba Fett looks like the same one from the mech, and the Chewbacca looks to be the same Chewbacca that we have literally been getting for the past 10 years. But really, I think Nub and Lando are by far the two best figs in this set, and I am very excited to get them. And I'm also really excited to get these builds. I mean, the Sarlacc pit looks incredible. This is by far the best Sarlacc pit that LEGO has ever made. I like how they actually included kind of an excessive amount of sand and terrain around it to make it look like an actual pit, and it almost kind of looks like just a diorama. The desert skiff looks really good too, although albeit it does look a bit chubby, but for the most part I think it looks pretty good. And one thing I really like is how it has the transparent pieces as kind of a stand for it to hover around. I don't really remember any of the other LEGO desert skiffs having stands, so it's nice to see that this one does. So like I said, the actual substance in this set is just very good. Both the builds are incredible, the minifigures are wonderful. It's just the only bad thing is that price point, man. $80 is just too much. I think 70 should have been the cap, but this set does just look good enough that I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be more than willing to spend $80 on it. And not to mention, it's of course going to pair very well with the UCS sail barge that's coming out in October. Anyways guys, these are the 2 August sets that just got revealed today. That means there's only one more left, being Jedi Bob's Starfighter, which will probably get revealed tomorrow or today if you're watching this video tomorrow. Oh, actually there's the Onyx Cinder, the skeleton cruise ship too, but honestly at this point I don't even know if that set's even coming out on August 1st. So I think it's safe to say that Jedi Bob's Starfighter is still the last set that needs to get revealed. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about these 2 sets down in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see me on screen right now.